Listen, may have all but locked up the MVP with another dominant performance on Sunday against the Browns. Down by 6 with under 2 minutes left in the first half, Lamar was able to find the end zone twice to take the lead, and he never looked back. The Baltimore QB ended up with over 300 total yards, 3 touchdowns on the way to a 31-15 win that locked up the #1 seed for the Ravens, who now sit at 13-2. Michael Vick's still with us. Michael, should the Ravens be a heavy favorite, honestly, to win it all right now?
Yes, I think so. And you're looking at the most consistent team around the league. You see other teams, they've shown forms of inconsistencies in, one of the 3 phases of the game. And when you look at Baltimore, they've looked the same for all 16 weeks since the first game of the season versus Miami until yesterday. And Lamar just continues to get better, more comfortable within the offense. You will need offense, you get offense, you need defense, they give you stops. You need to play on special teams. And from what I've seen is that they can beat you with so many different guys. I mean, you got the tight end who, beat the Browns yesterday in between the hashes. And they showed that they can beat teams in between the hashes. They don't even have to go outside. They don't come downhill and run at you. It's just the most consistent team that I've seen so far. Everyone else around the league is figuring their way out, figuring their way, to, the keys to success and what they need to do. The Baltimore Ravens are very comfortable right now with what they're doing in their system in all 3 phases of the game.
I think they should be favored, but overwhelming favorites is something I'm going to give pushback on, Skip.
Okay.
I think the thing for me is that of all the teams that we think of, say New Orleans, San Francisco, Kansas City, the Patriots, I think they've been the most consistent. Game in, game out, week in, week out. You know what you're going to get from them, Skip. Even in the games they've lost, they've been able to run the football. Even in the game that Lamar Jackson got outplayed by Baker Mayfield, he still was spectacular. The difference was he turned the ball over. Now, they rarely turn the ball over. You would think as much as Lamar handles the ball in the mesh point in the backfield, he would have 7, 8, 10, 12 bump. He doesn't. And he's learning, Skip, he's getting 12 yards. I could get 15. Nah, I ain't going to take that hit. I'm getting out of bounds. Yeah, I can get another 5, 6 yards. Let me slide and get down. So they've been the most consistent. I've never seen a team that can run the ball like they run, can possess the ball, and then lead the league in scoring. They can score just in the blink of an eye because they run, and next thing you know, Mark Andrews is splitting the seams, hitting his head on the goalpost. For me, I think San Francisco is still a major player. Skip, I don't know if you noticed this last night, on Saturday night. Did you see that Saturday night? He picked up 3 3rd and 16s, Jenny.
Yeah.
That's why Coach Belichick wanted to make a move. 3 3rd and 16s.
Wait, Garoppolo? Wait, you mean the guy who had a QBR of 25 in that game? He had a 25, a scale of 0 to 100. It's pathetic.
Whoa, your guy had a 26 in the Super Bowl. But hold on. His guy had a quarterback rating of 26 in the Super Bowl. But what did he do? He won. Did Jimmy G win?
You still think?
Well,
I still think Bill Belichick's going to push Tom Brady out the back door after what you saw Saturday?
I stand by what I said, Skip Bayless. Okay. Look, they can run the ball and can control the clock because they're going to minimize your possessions. But they can be explosive. They've been the most consistent. I believe they should be the favorite, but I believe Kansas City could give them problems. New Orleans, with that offense, can give them problems. But the question is, because it just seems like because Mahomes and Drew, they don't need a whole lot of time because the offense are so explosive. But I did see New Orleans get beat at home by Atlanta. I've seen them have games even yesterday, Skip, Tennessee. Now you get a 14-point lead. You got Derrick Henry. That might be a different ball game because they really couldn't run the ball. Give them credit. I believe they should be favored, but just not overwhelming favorites.
Okay. I don't know the injury status of Mark Ingram.
Correct.
He got hurt in something with his calf. Right. So I thought it was Achilles.
And he's in the boot.
Yep. So I don't know what's going to happen going forward. But if he's gone, let's do the hypothetical for the rest of the playoffs of the year. That's a huge loss.
That's huge.
Because he has been, boy, you want to talk about thunder to Lamar's lightning.
Because it's plus, Skip. They throw it to him.
Catch it.
They throw it to him.
He caught the 12-yarder for the 21-6 touchdown that just broke it completely open coming out of the half. The other play that scared me yesterday, and just because we have Mr. Vick here, I want to show this one. This is 10:20 left in the 3rd quarter. Lamar takes off, I don't know if you remember this play, and runs around the corner, and he could have run out of bounds. Instead, he says, I'm going to cut it upfield. You can't do it. No. You just can't take a shot. You're lucky it's a DB. I think it's Demarius Randall.
Skip, that's the play RG3 got hurt on when he was in Cleveland. He tried to take the guy head on. No, you got the first down, get out of bounds.
Michael Vick, you know this. You can't do that.
I
That
do it all
angle's
over again.
horrible
Yeah.
if you watch
That
it.
looks
just-
horrible at high speed. It looks like a car crash.
And when his coaches watch this film today and they sit down and watch it together, they're going to tell Lamar. And they probably told him that on a couple of different occasions. But it's hard when you're playing so fast.
I
But
got it.
the sideline is right there. You got to get. You got to.
Thought his receiver's going to
Yeah.
make a block for him, and he wanted to cut it up.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's a head-on collision, and he's lucky it wasn't a linebacker, but still, that's no good. You're better than that. You got to protect for the sake of your team.
Right.
You got to protect because if you can stay upright and healthy,
They're going to be a tough. They're going to be a tough
They're
out.
going to be a tough out. Now, I did tell you earlier that they really struggled to start the half, but Cleveland has been their kryptonite because Cleveland went to Baltimore and beat them 40-25, and it looked like we were on the way to that for much of the first half yesterday because we have in a row. We got a four, if we could show the plays, but it's 4th and 3 at the 41. They'll go for it on 4th and 3 every time. And he missed Mark Andrews with a pretty easy throw, I thought. He
Yes.
missed him. Okay. And then we go to the lost fumble coming up next, and the mesh point, and you guys talked about it just never happens. But it happened on that play, and that's a first. I don't think it's happened all year. They gave the fumble to Lamar, but I don't even know whose fault it is. It's like a close call. I guess it has to go to the quarterback. Then they had a 3rd and 4 and a 3rd and 6, and he missed receivers on both throws. So it wasn't great. It wasn't like perfect Lamar.
Right.
And this is the other 3rd down. I think this is to Hollywood. No, that's the one out to. Yeah, here's the last one. And I don't know what they're doing. He went deep to Hollywood on this one on 3rd and 6. So they don't have a point until a minute 18 left in the half. They don't have a point.
Yeah.
And guess what happened? Explosion happened.
They get 14.
They just explode.
But Skip,
It's like-
nobody can touch their resume. When you got the Pats, Seahawks, Niners, Texans, Rams on your resume as victories,
Nope. Nobody.
Fair.
Big margin victory.
yeah. I mean, think about it. They beaten these teams by an average of 18 points. Let that sink in for a second. The Pats won their division. They're going to be 13 and 3.
Yep.
Seahawks, they just lost yesterday, but they're going to be 12 and 4 at worst.
Yep.
The Rams, we know what the Niners probably going to be the #1 overall seed. And you got those on your resume. It lets you know, Skip, and that the way we knew Lamar could run. So basically, what it looks like to me, Skip, he looked like he in college. Because that's exactly what he was doing in college when he won the Heisman Trophy, and he followed it up his junior year and had a better year. That's exactly what it looks like.
Yep.
So I'm telling you, if you think you're going to just say, okay, we're going to stack the line, we're not going to let him run. His arm, he's confident enough that his arm is plenty good enough to beat you. But I don't believe you can do that. I don't believe you, because you make one mistake. And that's the thing. We go all week, okay, you got this guy, and you got that guy. And what happens? Somebody always try to do somebody else's job, and then he pulls it, and now he's gone.
Now, even more important, 2 weeks to prepare. Where the regular season is over,
Right.
and the playoffs is right around the corner. So, the intensity is going to be heightened. Mistake-free football is going to have to be at its height. And 2 weeks to prepare. This team could be dangerous.
They're gonna
but
put
at the
another
same
wrinkle
time,
in
they
there.
also have to keep their focus.
Yeah.
He's going to play this week. I mean, obviously, because the Steelers have a lot to play for, Skip, because they get an opportunity to get that last playoff spot. They're fighting with the Titans. So he's going to play. Because, Skip, you wouldn't want, why would you can't sit him, Skip, and have 3 weeks off.
Yeah,
that's too much time. Right.
You want to stay in rhythm.
Really?
No, I agree. And don't look now, but he's got a legion of boom on the other side because that secondary is so good.
The addition of Marcus Peters has been everything to this team. I think that was probably the biggest hurdle they crossed to take them to the next level.
Because you know what they did? What that allowed them to do? That allowed them to kick Marlon Humphrey inside.
They did.
Absolutely.
So and now you kicked him inside and you put Carr at a safety position. So you got a guy that's a former corner playing safety, and he could also play in the slot.
And Earl Thomas is Earl Thomas.
Yes. Yep.
Kansas City, the only team that I think in the AFC,
Really?
as of right now, that can give them a run for
You
their
don't give New England any shot at Baltimore.
It's a lot of inconsistencies there with New England. They still got Tom Brady. I won't take that away, but Patrick Mahomes can beat you.
It's just hard to go against Tom.
And you can't be happy with what you've seen
Separate
defensively,
timing.
Skip, the last 6 weeks.
Not.
And Patrick.
Fair. You're right. Okay, Mike, so good to have you always on Monday. All right, we gave Dak a grade.
Yeah.
So it didn't go so well. What grade does Carson Wentz deserve for yesterday's
Good question.
big win? That is next.